And also PsZ is ready, so we might kick it off any moment here. There we go.
There we go, the finals already from the Poison Hearts tournament number 5. It's gonna be a TVT.
TVT. Very, very strategic matchup.
Absolutely, yeah. Not my type, but it can be it can be very interesting. As both players are very, very high ranked and gonna show us a very cool play, I believe. As as we have our first opponent, our first player, PsZ spawning in the top left side.
And up in the top right hand side we are looking at the red Terran for team OptM. I don't know what that means, I'm sorry, it is DeathPotato.
It's indeed OptM Esports, and
OptM.
they were
Okay.
giving us quite some players for today for this tournament. I'm very glad they were joining up this tournament and being so successful until this very moment, and hope they are enjoying the show.
Awesome. So shout out to those guys. Yeah. And we see gas first for PsZ. Since I'm not a Terran and I actually have no clue whatsoever what you can do with that one as a Terran, just talk me through it, Angel.
Yeah, actually, I saw really cool games from PsZ with that very early gas, and you can even go different kind of things. You can go for very early factory, but you can also go for a reactor on your barracks, and then go for double Reaper production. So it's gonna be interesting how DeathPotato will identify this kind of build and gonna be reacting to it.
Yeah, first of all, he's harassing you a little bit with his SCV. That's always a little bit annoying. Yeah, if you have to pull off your SCV, it always takes a little bit of time, and I mean, as long as DeathPotato doesn't lose his SCV, he should be fine. Just delayed the barracks here by a couple of seconds. That's never bad.
Yeah, and on the other side, DeathPotato decides to go for a marine before adding any structures behind this. Might be going for a factory in the follow-up.
Absolutely, we see here a very, very quick factory out of PsZ. Immediately after the barracks finished, he threw down his factory. And we might even see a second gas being added on. So this could very well be some Hellbat drops.
Oh yes, and actually someone in the chat was telling me this. Both players actually love to drop, so wouldn't be surprised to see that Hellbat drop, mine drop, and can be very, very intense. So
let's see what will happen.
PsZ
one SCV of PsZ. There we go. There's Starport. Okay.
He doesn't even know that you cannot spawn on the bottom left side. You only can spawn horizontal and cross. And DeathPotato doesn't know either. No, he does.
I wouldn't.
I
wouldn't. I would not know that either.
But that's very interesting. Look at that! Look at the two SCVs gonna be meeting there each other. But it's so confusing. I mean, DeathPotato saw the base already. Why is he moving his SCV there?
He wants to know everything.
Yeah, proxy buildings.
Maybe a third player spawned in there. And
yeah,
I don't know. Okay, we are actually having some mine action going on here of PsZ. He's building at the moment the second one, and Medivac is also being built, so we might see some mine drops. Very, very effective against other races, not so much against Terrans, because SCVs actually have 45 HP, and the splash damage of those guys is actually just 40. So 45 is bigger than 40, as most of you guys surely know. So those SCVs actually need 2 hits of the splash damage, not the actual impact damage, but of the splash damage, to be killed. But with the 4 Marines also sitting in that medevac, he should be able to one-shot those that got hurt. So he might eventually be also able to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, and DeathPotato actually made a perfect scout, sees exactly what his opponent is going for, and knows that drop will be coming up very, very shortly. Has already his turret about to be set down, and the Marines trying to defend this as well. 2 mines being set there, might still be doing some damage here.
Yeah, but I think it was not too much. The Marines already showed up to defend. Yeah, 2 workers killed. That's not really too much.
Look at the placement here of this Widow Mine. But I think DeathPotato saw it, so he will be dropping the scan very, very shortly.
Interesting. It will definitely go off once.
Oh, he wasn't even focus firing it.
Now he does. And we have a Cloak Banshee coming up to DeathPotato here from PsZ. So he decided to go for a Banshee follow-up after his Widow Mine drops. But we already saw that turrets were constructed in the mineral lines. At least in the main, and in the natural we have a Widow Mine trying to defend here. I think that Banshee won't really do too much here.
Oh, and the Widow Mine might kill it off, but very, very close there to death. But with the cloak actually doing quite some damage now, and be very annoying here for his opponent.
Yeah, but he has to be careful not to jump in turret range here in the main, because if that happens he will be instantly shot down because the Banshee is very, very low on HP. Currently sitting at 15. Now focusing on the engineering base. But sooner or later his energy will run out, or he will jump into the side of the turret. But we have a halberd drop of DeathPotato here in the main of PsZ.
Yeah, this was actually quite good here, but didn't kill that many workers. So the Banshee was actually a little bit more effective. Yeah, only 1. So nice defended by both of the players, these kind of drop play.
Absolutely, and we now see that the Cloak Banshee is being taken up by Viking.
Yeah, both actually dropping the scan just to kill off the mine, and was the Banshee here with this Viking. Both doing really great job of defending this off, and also trying to put the aggression to the opponent.
Yeah, but DeathPotato took a little bit more damage. He has lost 9 workers so far. And with his halberd drops, which are quite huge investment, he didn't manage to do too much damage. I mean, of course, he killed 1 worker, but that's not really too much. That might have even been a scouting SCV. So he definitely needs to step that one up a notch if he wants to stay in this game. Because at the moment PsZ is ahead in supply by 16.
Yeah, he is indeed, and macroing up very, very hard behind this, and another halberd drop trying to do that damage here in the natural. Siege tanks are in position, but still a lot of workers actually going down here. So this was a bit more successful play here by DeathPotato, who also defends against this Cloak Banshee.
Absolutely, he managed to kill this Banshee. I think he got 3 kills or something, but that's about it. Not really too much damage there, and those Banshees are actually quite expensive, so you actually want to do a little bit more damage if you lose them afterwards.
Yeah, and look at this, both. Actually, PsZ goes for that bio play with his siege tanks, at least marine siege tanks, but it doesn't have his stimpack yet, so just tries to poke in, maybe delays the 3rd base and takes his 3rd base here on his side. And DeathPotato, he gonna go for this mech composition, a heavy mech composition. He has 5 factories here, and building even some ravens as well, as he has to play against the Cloak Banshees.
Absolutely, but at the moment he has no siege tanks whatsoever. Nice drop here, by the way, on the siege tanks. But that one will be taken out quite nicely here. Oh, has to be careful with the tank. And also the friendly fire, because and the killer drones actually do friendly fire. And now we see PsZ sieging up in the natural, and that is really not good for DeathPotato. Nice shots there on the SCV line, taking out huge numbers of SCVs at the moment. We are sitting at 18 worker kills. I think that CC is a dead CC. Focuses with the Marines.
Yeah, wow, that's actually great aggression here coming up from PsZ. And I mean, DeathPotato trying his best here defending this, but he's stuck on one base and he doesn't want to. His income is crippled right now. And only with the siege tanks and the Hellbats, I don't know if he can actually defend this off.
I mean, he should be able to clear out that push. That's just 2 tanks remaining. But that once again did a lot of damage, and also the mining time got denied there for quite some time. PsZ eventually loses another Banshee up in the top, but that doesn't really matter. And look at PsZ, he's already constructing his 3rd CC, whilst DeathPotato is just now retaking his natural. So he is in a quite convincing lead here, and also he's now working on the rocks leading into his 4th base.
Yeah, interesting enough, he takes the 3rd base here in another position you would assume to. And both players are scanning each other. And yeah, DeathPotato is scanning the potential 3rd here on a wrong position, as PsZ seems to go for the 4th, potential 4th. So a little bit misleading information here. So might be thinking that a very big push coming up from PsZ.
Absolutely, but his army is actually also pretty huge. If we look at the supplies, he's currently sitting at 58. Well, the CC will eventually go down here in the 3rd base, so interesting.
Oh, okay, never
mind. Why did he open up the rocks?
Yeah.
I'm also a little bit confused, so yeah.
That's even.
But also DeathPotato is now floating over his CC, so they should be able to start mining there quite at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, both players are pretty much even in their supply at the moment. So DeathPotato still tries to make as much progression as possible, going to the natural, going to the main base, but the turret shut down one of them.
By the way. Doesn't kill too much workers here, still sitting at 8. But we have another drop. But once again, turrets are set up and the army is also already moving in place. So that one won't do any damage at all. There we go.
Wow.
That's instantaneously cleaned up. Nice job there by PsZ. Not really losing any workers here to those Hellbat drops.
Yeah, and I love this position here of the sensor tower, seeing exactly when any kind of drop is going up. And there's still that slight edge here on the top where DeathPotato might be dropping, but he on the other side is preparing for any kind of drop play here in any minutes here for his defense, as he has a lot of siege tanks and Hellbats at the moment to defend any aggression.
Yeah, but the army of PsZ is actually pretty scary. Almost 100 army supply. And he's also ahead overall in supply, so that might be a very dangerous push out. He definitely has to be careful with the siege tanks. They are set up very nicely. But now he's unsieging them. That is not really too good here. Re-sieging them eventually.
Repositioning.
But he might just go ahead and drop the bio on top of the tanks, maybe after he cleared out the Vikings.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
then
actually
just roll
smart.
in with the tanks, and he should be able to take out that army, and I think he's also going for that. At least he's going for a quadruple drop here.
Yeah, but the sensor tower actually saw this, I think. So it's a little bit scary.
I think definitely now he's also scans it now.
Yeah.
So I think he saw at least one medevac heading towards his direction.
So he definitely shouldn't be dropping here. Gonna be losing a lot. Oh, but he goes for it anyway. Oh no! The Seeker missile almost got down here from DeathPotato. So very nicely done, dealing with this kind of drop play. PsZ still tries to do as much damage as possible, going into the main base with his Bioforce, doing a really great job, but DeathPotato, I think, convincingly defended this off.
Yeah, I think it's not nearly enough damage that PsZ did to be able to trade his whole army for that. I mean, he killed off a couple of add-ons and SCVs, but that's about it. And for that, in trade, he lost his whole army. And
did he actually kill 39 workers in total now? Wow, that's actually huge. I didn't expect
yeah,
this.
okay. When did that happen?
I mean, with all the band
Okay,
harassment and
interesting.
so, that's why
He
maybe.
has to deal with that push out here by DeathPotato, and since he has not too much workers, his army supply is actually pretty huge, and we see at the moment 18 tanks for him paired to 3 of PsZ. So
Wow.
he has quite a tank force right now, and I think he will just slowly be sieging forward here inch by inch.
Yeah, and
I
he has
think
the air
PsZ
dominance.
just doesn't have the units to defend that.
He has the air dominance, and this is very, very important. But PsZ still has these marauders, and if he just drops on them smartly enough, I think he might be even taking this.
Yeah, but he has definitely to be careful with those Vikings here. They will shoot any medivacs that approach those siege tanks. And PsZ just can't really engage at the moment. He will now go for a flank drop here, dropping some of those marauders onto those tanks. Almost taking out 2.
Yeah, that was actually smart.
It was smart, but it really... it was not enough at the moment.
Yeah, DeathPotato making this contain very, very heavily, trying to keep his siege tanks alive as long as possible, but killing off one siege tank by another by PsZ, and he needs them so much. And only 2 siege tanks in production for him, but 4 siege tanks at the same time for DeathPotato.
Yeah, and he is now... oh, maybe not. I was about to say that he would now unsiege all the tanks and just roll into that allocation here, but that will also be not too smart since there are a lot of fire units. Just waiting for that to happen. He will now take out eventually even more siege tanks here of PsZ, and he is now actually engaging into this, pulling SCVs, and with the marauders everything tries to break. This contain also some marauders who were dropped here to the low ground.
Oh,
and with
wow.
that, he's actually able to crush this contain here.
Wow, absolutely fantastic engagement there for PsZ. His marauders were just spread out much, yeah, enough there to kill off all these siege tanks. And DeathPotato, even though he has that sick production of 4 siege tanks at the same time, he needs to reset all his units at the moment.
Absolutely, if we look at the army supplies at the moment, PsZ is now once again in the favor, 75 to 52. And the thing is, DeathPotato still has the air advantage with his Vikings. So his siege tanks potentially will have the longer sight here, so he will be able to use all of his range. And PsZ will have to stick to scans, and I guess there's a disconnect.
Oh, that's very unfortunate. It was not only me lagging there, back there, so it was actually DeathPotato, so might even be Battle.net at the moment, being a little bit laggy.
Yeah, that could very well be true. But, you know what, we can just recover the game and everything will be fine.
Yeah, that's kind of luxury.
Gotta love Battle.net.
Yeah, that they implemented that resume.
Yeah, it's so awesome. I mean, that's just what the tournament players need in case of something like that happens. That's just such a great introduction there. And that definitely shows that Blizzard is actually listening to their community.
But the only problem is that they both shouldn't be watching their monitors, and I can't really tell them. I mean,
It might be an issue.
Yeah, and I guess since he dropped, we might very well end this game right now and just recover the game. So that's not too big of a deal here.